5 years. 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
All right. And then, which was your first one? I forgot.
This was the first one. The locomotive was the first one.
All right. And what is that? That switcher? Is that?
That's an A3 switcher. It's used in the train yards to switch cars back and forth. It rarely sees open track.
As I remember, someone said when you for a project get someone said try a switcher.
Someone said buy the book. So I bought the book written by Kozo, and it's just an absolutely amazing book. It tells you how to make every single part. It explains to you how to make the fixtures you need to make. It's got a whole section on silver soldering. It's just a great book.
And then you built the switcher first, and then the engine.
Yes. The engine was last.
Okay. And that was all in the book also.
That was everything was in the book in order to build the locomotive and the tender.
And you were just talking to our regular engineer.
Yeah. He's the locomotive specialist.
Now, how long? What was your timeline?
2 years. Took 2 years from start to finish to build the locomotive.
And then what about the switcher?
The locomotive and the tender. 2 years.
Yeah. And so then, after this, I
went to the little Upshur farm engine. Because it's got a piston in it and rings and the parts that I was gonna need to make when I started the V8.
And since you were already used to pistons and rings.
Well, from building race cars and race car motors all my life, yeah. But building them on this scale is something completely different.
Yeah.
Because we make our own rings. It's not like buying them in the perfect circle come in the cartons, and you just take them out and put them on the pistons, line them up right, and shove them in the hole.
Of course, Dwight said there's nothing to it, right?
Oh, of course, Dwight says they're simple.
Dwight does. Yeah.
See, he's not allowed to use that word in front of me. Simple. That's a 4-letter word that I don't let him use.
So then now you're on your...
Now I just finished the V8.
This has been a year or so, hasn't it?
2 years.
2 years. And you had to get those twin distributors. So it'd be
Yeah, I had a problem with that, and I think we got it ironed out today. So I think I know what I have to do to solve the problem, and hopefully it'll be running next week.
You fired it a little bit. Someone said
it wants to start, but it'll just and then quit. And that's because both ignition systems are talking to each other, so they're both firing at the same time. So the capacitors never can catch up.
Now this is a copy of a Black Widow, is that right?
Yes. The only difference is I made everything out of billet instead of using their castings.
Yeah. Now, didn't you have you had a problem when on another block?
Yeah, I worked on it for 6 months and then got them all bored and realized that there was a core shift when they cast them, and the cylinders were offset to one side, but there was like that, so you had this much room on one side and this much room on the other side. Now Dwight makes them work. Dwight and Ken make them work, but I don't. I don't work.
So then you started right back in.
I started again. I just made a block out of billet.
You had that block before that was cut out with a
EDM cut. I forgot to bring it.
Yeah.
I'll have to put that in the box tomorrow and bring it in.
That was I had never seen it. I had heard about that. I'd never seen that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah. It's pretty amazing. That all the high-tech stuff that's out there these days is. We got a guy that was just here, Jim Kipp. He just had his crankshafts. We normally drill holes through them for oil holes, and it's very, very tricky and very touchy to do that. Well, he found a guy that can drop sinker them using an EDM machine, and it electrically discharges and drills the holes and can make them stop wherever he needs them to stop. So he did them with an electrical discharge machine. Just
unbelievable.
Yeah,
Good stuff, huh?
the stuff that's out there these days is pretty crazy.
Now, what was your professional career, John?
I was a construction superintendent and a senior construction inspector for East Bay Mud.
Okay.
So I never had a job that had anything to do with cars or machinery, machinists.
Yeah, see, that's why I asked, because so many of us didn't have another career. So when you want to do this, you're a garage machinist.
Yeah, that was me. I've had a mill and a lathe for 25 or 30 years, and just kind of self-taught, just taught myself how to use them. And
other than Dwight,
other than Dwight, whatever he can show me.
Yeah, there's a really good group of guys being here.
Well, we've got enough knowledge in this room to build just about anything you can come up with.